Hi, we've come to the module on problem solving. This is when we start talking about your idea. We start working on your idea. I have done two things in this module. One, basically challenge your idea, like whether it's a good idea to work on, whether you're close to your idea, whether you're in a problem area and you've still not narrowed down your exact problem that you're going to solve. Whatever you do, most ideas are basically solving some customer problems, right? So we're going to see whether your idea is worth solving, right? Or your problem identification or the problem is worth solving or not, right? Let's get straight into it. For the first part, let me share a PPT with you. So what is a problem? A lot of people just have problem identifying a problem, right? And that's a very natural thing. We want to solve the right problems for our customers, but we cannot identify them, or some we've identified, and then we don't know how to move ahead on them. So in this module, I'm just going to talk about what is the problem that you're solving, is it good enough, and how to approach it. So why can't things be delivered at home? Why can't I order food at home? What if I could call all services at home? What if everything I want to watch can be accessed through my TV? An illiterate person cannot access banking services. There should be a system to do that. Why do I have to go to an institute to learn? Do these problems really need to be identified? I don't think so. These problems exist in front of us. We see them every day and we question them every day. So they don't need to be identified per se. So what are we talking about here? So the problem is not that it cannot be done. The problem is how to do it. And in this particular case, the problem is the solution. What is the solution that I'm going to offer to my customer so that these problems can be solved? And a lot of you might be there. These are known problems. You want to solve known problems. And now you're trying to build a solution, right? The end point for us being we'll build that solution, we'll launch that in the market, and we'll test it out. But there are bigger problems like pollution is a problem, eve teasing is a problem, cyberbullying, illiteracy, poverty, and what have you. And then there are day-to-day problems, forgetting a password, internet speed, phone out of charge, what to wear, charger not working, out of groceries. So all of these are problems, right? We all categorize them as problems, bigger or day-to-day. Then what is the problem? Which problem are you going to solve, right? Or what problem are you solving? Let's understand the nature of problems. So problems are very contextual. They are time bound. They are focusing on some age or gender. They are related to a specific skill. They are very specific problems. They are cultural problems, probably. They are affordance problems and they're dependency problems. And there are many more such problems, but these are the broad categories under which problems can be contextualized. So once we understand the context of the problem, then what is a good problem to solve? And I want you to think about your idea and see if you are doing this or not. Does your problem that you've identified apply to a larger audience? Is it specific? Right. Now, let me give you a very specific, the example of a specific problem. Let's say old people, right? They have mobility problems, right? Now that's a very specific to their age, and there could be further drill down to gender, maybe older women, older men, right? Now we could identify some specific problems related to that demographic and start to solve them, right? Scalable, very important. In fact, the most important thing, whether this problem that I'm trying to solve is scalable. In the past modules, or I think we'll talk about this in one of the modules, we've spoken about how Airbnb solved their problem with starting small, right? At that point, then they didn't know whether the problem was scalable or not. They went and solved it. And at certain point, they realized it can be scalable, right? Scalability may not be defined at an early stage of the problem, but at the back of your mind, you should know that scalability is something that I need to consider when I'm looking at my idea, right? I need to take it to more people. If I have to take it to more people, my solution has to be scalable. Someone will pay for it. Now, a lot of times we identify problems and they apply to a large audience, they are specific, they are scalable, but nobody is willing to pay for them, right? And you may know many such problems. Is your solution an improvement or innovation, right? Are you talking about a problem about improvement or innovation? And this can be seen in products, right? You might be using a new type of camera, you might be using a new type of phone. There are many innovations that are happening in your handheld devices. There are many innovations happening in, many fields. So we need to see whether these are innovations. Are you building a new product? Is it a new problem, or is it an improvement of an earlier problem that existed? Um, does this solution save time, money, hassle? So what is your solution doing? Are you solving it in a new way? Existing problem solved in a new way. Uber is the best example. A cab service, the problem of hailing a cab solved in a beautiful way. Um, it's a new way through the app. You can book it. You can actually see where the cab is going, how much time it'll take to come to you, all of that. Are you building an easier way, right? Quick commerce, for example, is a is a solution for bringing or ordering groceries online and getting at your doorstep. Are you building a cheaper way? You know, Geo did that, uh, giving access to internet in a very cheap way, right? Are you building a faster way? Are you building a solution which is a faster way of doing things, right? Are you building a sustainable way, right? Now, sustainability has been, in the forefront these days. We are very concerned about the environment, and I would urge you to build sustainable solutions, come up with ideas which are more sustainable, right? Use more natural materials, look at recycling, reuse, all of those things in your ideas. Is it for entertainment or is there utility? For example, cricket apps, they're entertainment. They don't particularly have a utility. But an app like Zomato has a utility, a very clear utility. Uber has a utility. Urban Company has a utility. Or is your idea a combination of the above? So you may say, Uber is a new way, easier way, cheaper way, right? A faster way, right? Uh, and or all of the above, right? So when you are evaluating your solution, you can take this as your audit and you can say, is my solution a new way of doing things, easier, cheaper, all of that, and market, right? So with this, what we're trying to understand is that you have already thought of an idea, or if you've not thought of an idea yet and you're trying to become an entrepreneur, that's absolutely fine. You will discover a lot of problems, but how will you discover a problem if you don't know how to identify problems? So the purpose of this module is to do that exactly, to cater to both audience, people with an idea, people still trying to discover an idea, right? I'll share more in the next module.